It's Nick, and if you're like my family, you probably have some debate at your Thanksgiving or holiday gatherings about should you do the traditional old school style dishes or new school, easier, more convenient dishes. I gotta tell you, I go towards the old school, traditional, let's not waste anything. And one of the ways I do that is with turkey gravy. Now, the stuff right out of the bag mixes is really good. I use that a lot at home. But for Thanksgiving, you're cooking a whole turkey, you have that turkey neck. Don't let anything go to waste. Make some gravy with that turkey neck. I'm gonna show you how. It's easy, takes a little bit of time, but it's really delicious and I think it's worth it. So let's get started. Our first step, we have a nice big Dutch oven, and we're just gonna add a little bit of oil to it. Let that get heated up. We're gonna sear the turkey neck in there, let it get browned, and that turkey neck is just gonna add all this fat, unctuous flavor, bring your turkey gravy to a whole nother level. While that oil's getting hot, I went and chopped up the turkey neck. You can see the big part, I wasn't able to get through that with my chef knife. If you have a cleaver at home, that works really well, but just cut into a couple pieces. With the oil hot, we're gonna put this in. Let that sear. We're cooking this over medium heat to let it get nice and brown. Flip it, brown it on all sides. I just like to rub it around in the oil to make sure we're getting that bond, which is the technical term for the little bits falling off the turkey, get that all over the bottom of the pot. After the first flip, we're gonna add in our vegetables. Half an onion, 2 ribs of celery, and 1 carrot, chopped roughly. It's just gonna add a lot of flavor to the broth. Mix that all together. Make sure you get some of the oil on all the vegetables. And now we're gonna hit it with some seasoning, just salt and pepper, very basic. After you season, go ahead and mix that back up again. Get that to coat everything. And now we're gonna cook until the vegetables are softened. Vegetables is softened, we're gonna give this one last stir, scrape up kind of the bits on the bottom, and then we're gonna add in our liquid. So I have 6 cups of chicken broth. Pour this in. We're gonna add 2 bay leaves. Remember, we wanna make sure we take these out after we're done cooking. And then just a little twist, a dash of soy sauce. And what this does is just add a little bit of savory flavor and richness to the gravy. Whisk this all together. We're gonna let this come to a boil. Once it's boiling, reduce the heat down to the simmer and let it go for an hour. Our stock has reduced nicely, so now it's time to go ahead and strain out all the bay leaf, turkey neck, all that stuff. So easiest way I've found to do this without making a huge mess is to get another pot like this, put it right next to the first one you did, grab your colander, any type of strainer will do. I just like this because nice, big, easy to do. Go ahead, turn the heat off, and we're gonna take and slowly pour this. Set that off to the side, and we can just go ahead and throw out everything left in this pot. So, next thing we're gonna do is make a roux to thicken up our gravy. Okay, making a roux sounds complicated, but it's actually very simple, and I have a trick that I like to do which definitely helps. So first thing, get a small sauce pot, get the heat going on medium, and put in 2 tablespoons of butter. Get that melted, and then we're gonna whisk in flour. Just slowly whisk in flour. And the thing that I find really helps to make sure you don't burn your flour is to use a quick mixing flour like Wondra. This is already cooked, so it gets into the roux really easily. Wondra flour, great way to do this. Okay, the butter's melted, so now it's time to whisk in the flour. And you don't need a bunch. Just kind of sprinkle some in like that. Go ahead, whisk. You can see the butter is getting golden in color. Whisk in some more. And I'll show you when you know you're done adding flour, because this will get thickened and just this lovely caramel golden brown color. We're about there. And this is a lot easier with Wondra flour or a similar quick mixing flour. All right, so it's starting to stick to the bottom of the pan, which means we have enough flour in there. So give it one last whisk. You can kind of see starting to burn on the edges, which is what we want to avoid. And then go ahead, pour this into the gravy and whisk that all together. Now that everything's whisked together, we want this to reduce just a little bit more. So bring it up to a boil again, let it reduce for about 5 more minutes. Then we're gonna taste it for salt and pepper, season it more if we want, and it's ready to serve. Super simple, but also super traditional gravy. I hope you enjoy it. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you soon at Lake Geneva Country Meats.